Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today we got the Expedition Challenge Rewards information. This is probably going to be the last small piece of information before we start getting really juicy stuff over the next few days. So, there are three different main challenge rewards, and then there's also the Totem Pole. I'll quickly have a look at each of them and give my thoughts on each of them. So firstly, we have what is, in my opinion, a really disappointing reward for 12 challenges, the Expedition Footprints. Now, the reason I think these are disappointing is that they don't linger on the ground for very long. So you watch this character, you'll see that by the time that they're half a stride ahead, most of the light's gone out of the footprint, and that means that it's just going to not be seen in genuine gameplay. It's really only when the character's foot is in contact with the ground that you can see it in any true shape at all, and then it's blocked by your character model. I was going to say that unless they change these to persist longer on the ground, I'm not personally a fan. That said, some of you will definitely have different opinions to me. So let's jump on to what I think is the best of the three challenge rewards, and this comes online at 24 challenges. This is the Expedition Weapon Effect, and this is a very different look on weapon effects to a lot of other ones we've had in the past. I can't guarantee it'll look as good as this on all types of weapons, but the weapon effects are the glows. This is not a reskin of your weapon. This is a glowing effect on it. And what you've got here is this really bright point at the center, which I think sort of detracts from the overall aesthetic. And then you've got this bluish grey glow around the weapon that's really subtle, which is quite different. And then some sort of helical quicksilver type effect on the outside of the weapon that will rotate and move. As you can see here, it's sort of distorting and moving around. Obviously, it can be used in conjunction with other weapons, not just swords. It's being showcased on a sword here, but then after that you see it on a bow. Unfortunately, the bow is a little bit less clear. I think it will look best on two-handed weapons, and probably I think it will look best on a two-handed maul. Third up, we have the Expedition Portal. Now, this reminds me, I think it was the Elite Faith Guard pack or something like that, that quite recently had a portal quite similar to this. It's not exactly the same, but it's very closely inspired by that. I know a lot of people really like this. I think it's middle of the range for portals personally, but that's just a case of opinion being something that differs from person to person. It looks a lot better when you see 6 of them at once, and that's what we have here. So we've got the 6 portals at once, set in a glacial hideout, which is the perfect backdrop for this character aesthetic. And then here we have the Totem Pole. The Totem Pole is something that you get starting at 19 challenges. You get a tiny version of it, just a little stump, and then each 3 challenges you earn past that, all the way to 40, makes the Totem Poles taller. It's been my experience that generally they don't look good unless you stop at 34, 35, 36 tier, or you go to 40 tier. 40 tends to look great. But 40 challenges is a massive, massive undertaking. And it's not something that I think that most players will want to even consider going for. 36 takes a quarter of the playtime of 40 a lot of the time. However, the 40 challenge one does look really good with this bird of prey on the top. And these, it's a standard format. They all look pretty similar. The only one of these that I've ever actually earned is the Blight one, the 40 challenge one. Usually I stop at 36 or 37. Anyway, that's the Expedition challenges. Curious to think or to hear your thoughts. Are these going to be ones that make you more excited to play the league, less excited? For me, it doesn't usually matter very much. Sometimes there'll be a specific challenge reward I really want, like the 24 challenge reward in Ultimatum. But typically I will go for 36 unless I really hate the league. But I know some people care more about these free MTX than other people do. So interested in your thoughts. Otherwise, though, I'm going to continue putting out news on everything that comes out about the Ultimatum League, about the Expedition League over the next little while. And I will see you in game on the weekend.